Antifa, yeah, maybe he was part of that hate group. Who knows? But again, 4 people arrested during the protest, according to Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams. He says, we had tens of thousands of people downtown peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights. What's unfortunate is that a very small number of individuals chose criminal conduct. Police called on the crowds to disperse. Many of the protesters quit the scene, while dozens of police in riot gear and carrying shields sought to clear remaining protesters from the downtown area. So the Phoenix Fire Department said it treated 56 people for heat exhaustion and dehydration at the convention center. 12 people were taken to the hospital. But it was good that they had the police presence that they had. I think it was great. By the way, first hour, if you want to listen to the whole speech, forthepeopleshow.com. And by the way, 2 hours every single day at forthepeopleshow.com. Just look for hour 1 and hour 2. And believe me, if you miss an hour of either 1 or 2, you missed a whole lot, because they're standalone hours. That's what we call it in radio, standalone. They're different. They're not the same. So, and there's different content, and we're talking about different things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, again, check it out, and you may want to break it up a little bit when you're exercising, maybe hour number 2. Maybe you listen to hour number 1 on the radio station, and primarily on the radio station. If your station carries it, that's your go-to place, by the way. Never want to take away from that, because that's the gold standard, baby, the radio. We love it. A former Army intelligence officer, he's an intelligence officer for President Donald Trump. He said that Donald Trump's speech outlining his strategy for Afghanistan was effective, in his opinion, for a number of reasons. Chief among them, he says, providing that he's listening, proving that he's listening to the military by giving the generals what they want. He set himself up in 2 or 3 years to be able to say, okay, you have the opportunity. If things aren't better, you are all fired. We're going to pull out. We're going to do it my way. Peake told Fox News he made it clear that he's listening to the military and that any withdrawal would be based on conditions on the ground. So Peake was talking about. Peake also praised Donald Trump's decision to give ground command the ability to set rules of engagement. Huge. And, folks, we're going to be watching Afghanistan. We're hoping that this proves to be effective and gives our military the ability to be able to win the war, because this has been an unwinnable. The Soviet Union, the Russians have been there for years, and we've been there longer than anybody. But because of the age we live in, these terrorists, they're not giving up. They're constantly looking for new ways to be able to get to us. And that's a good place. I'd rather blow up things over there than certainly blow things over here. And that was the idea after 9/11. It still seems to be that part of the world where they like to congregate. Now, there's a new approval rating. And this goes by Solange Reiner of Newsmax. It's an NBC poll, which I don't subscribe to anything that they really say, but I thought it was interesting. They say a new poll in the Rust Belt states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, showed that the president's approval ratings dropped to the early 30s. But those numbers are roughly the same as they were on Election Day, according to CNN, they noted. Trump's approval rating on the latest Gallup daily tracking poll fell to a record low of 34% August 14th, to the lowest point since his 35% approval rating March 28th, but the numbers were similar during the campaign, NBC noted. More than 60% of voters stating they did not think that he was qualified to run, and more than half of Republicans said they were not satisfied with him as the nominee. On Election Day, 60% of voters said they did not like him. It's easy to forget that almost a quarter of Rust Belt voters who ended up pulling the lever for Trump were holding their noses while they did it. Now, who wrote that? CNN's Ryan Struzik. Thank you. Oh, he goes on. Trump has had a rough month with lawmakers criticizing him heavily for his comments on the violence of Charlottesville and the major shakeup of his White House staff, including the ouster of Chief Strategist Steve Bannon. I thought that the left would actually be happy because they thought that this Brett Bart guy was tied to white supremacy. And now because of the shakeup in Washington, they're never going to be happy with anybody. Instead of it being a victory and a good thing, they don't want the A-team assembly. They don't want Washington running on all cylinders. They don't want that success to go to Donald Trump because if they really were going to admit anything for the last 8 years and the failed policies of Barack Hussein Obama, if they actually did embrace reality, they would know that we're in a far worse place as a society, as a country, because of those failed policies and with the military. Take Afghanistan for a moment here. We wouldn't even have to address that issue. We'd have been a whole lot further ahead if they were able to implement what they wanted to do. They're just doing it now, being able to catch up 8 years later. And most likely, we probably wouldn't have gotten a lot of people killed. But they had to put their hands in their pockets and weren't able to shoot because of the rules of engagement. And they begged and they pleaded. But they did not get permission from the Pentagon because Barack Hussein Obama had a different strategy. And it did not work. Now, I know Bush, he had a policy as well. But I put a lot of this on Barack Obama. He could have done something, but he didn't. But again, he didn't have any experience. Now, some would say Donald Trump doesn't have experience. Well, there's a big difference. Donald Trump actually is listening, and people are praising him for it. They're praising him for it. We have ex-Army lieutenants and captains saying that it's a beautiful thing, it's a good thing that Donald Trump is listening because a lot of people were fearful that he wouldn't listen. Well, we have a president that is listening and hearing him loud and clear. Calling the North American Free Trade Agreement one of the worst deals that anyone in history has ever been into. President Donald Trump hinted no renegotiated deal with Canada and Mexico can be reached without terminating NAFTA first. Folks, you might be saying goodbye to NAFTA. Trump alluded to this during the speech. He says, I don't think we can make a deal. He was telling the rally yesterday evening in Arizona. He says, we have been so badly taken advantage of. They have made such great deals, both of the countries, but in particular Mexico. I don't think we can make a deal. I think we'll end up probably terminating NAFTA at some point. We will renegotiate NAFTA or we'll terminate NAFTA, President Trump added. I personally don't think you can make a deal again without a termination, but we'll see what happens, okay? You're in good hands. It's almost like Allstate. I can tell you. You're in good hands. I definitely feel more encouraged with Donald Trump making good on his promises, and every day he is in the White House. And I can tell you, I feel much more confident in America's trajectory going forward, despite what the left is trying to do to destroy his presidency, discredit his presidency every single day, because that's what they are trying to do. And that's what the left is hell-bent on doing, not to support him. And I'm really thankful that Franklin Graham was there at the rally, prayed. I think Donald Trump said Franklin Graham instead of Graham. But, hey, listen, people do make mistakes, but very revered. His presence was there, and I think God is blessing us, folks. It's a good thing. We'll be back.
This thing called life, we're for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us. It went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew is I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it, don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Wounded Warrior Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on. To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
Get ready, get set for 123 Ready TV, the brand new app that everyone's talking about for your PC or Android device that allows you access to most every movie or TV show ever made. Sound incredible? Well, it is, because once you pay $19.99, that's all you pay. Just the movies and TV shows you like without the hassle. The internet streams everything already. What 123 Ready does is it finds them, then delivers them directly to you, commercial-free. There's nothing quite like it, and it's available now at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. And before you buy 123 Ready TV, watch the video and see how simple it is to start watching all those movies and TV shows. If you like movies and TV shows, but don't enjoy paying for all of them, no problem. Just pay $19.99 and start enjoying countless titles and entertaining TV better than anyone. Get your 123 Ready TV for $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page. For the People has a special opportunity for you. If you own a business and want to gain a national audience that is loyal and will do business with you, imagine being able to get your product and or service into the hands of tens of thousands of people each week. Sponsorship opportunities are now available at rates you can afford. Finally, the show you love with your business supporting what we do in partnership. Start running your commercials today. To contact us, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Some things in life need a little attention. Like a plant. If not watered, it begins to turn brown. But if watered properly, its leaves turn green again. Like a plant, For the People needs watering too. Your thoughtfulness provides sustainability for us to grow and reach our full potential. You see, For the People depends on you to broadcast this program to help inform and educate folks so you can make a difference right where you are. Grab your watering can and join us as we endeavor to make a difference in people's lives each and every day. To donate, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Just look for the watering can and water as much as you can. At For the People, our garden is full of opportunities, and planting something allows others to enjoy the benefits. At For the People, our mission is simple. Give you the news that matters with good old-fashioned common sense, mixed with a conservative point of view. Simply log on to our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Thanks for your support. Yes, your daily infusion of common sense. It's right here on For the People. Keith Allen, our website, forthepeopleshow.com. You can get the great app, 123 Ready TV, and on our store page for $19.99. And membership opportunity on the front page, and our podcast, all sorts of things. If you haven't visited it, mobile version, which is pretty snazzy, or just our desktop version, which is pretty snazzy. There's a nice new picture of me. I don't regularly